Hello students, welcome to Drishti IAS. By now we are aware of the unfortunate incident that happened at Red Fort yesterday. And just a couple of hours prior to that explosion, the police had confiscated 350 kilograms of ammonium nitrate in Faridabad. And the initial probings of yesterday's explosion also hint towards a possible use of ammonium nitrate. So in this session, we're going to study what ammonium nitrate is and what role does it play in such explosions. So recently, the police had seized 350 kilograms of ammonium nitrate from a warehouse in Faridabad. And this warehouse belonged to a couple of people who were reportedly from the medical profession. This raised some concerns because ammonium nitrate has a heavy usage in industries. It does not have a heavy usage in the medical field. That is why it was a matter of concern. And secondly, we are not talking about a few grams of ammonium nitrate. How much are we talking about here? It is 350 kilograms of ammonium nitrate. That is a huge amount. That is why the police got concerned and it started investigating. And along with ammonium nitrate, some arms and ammunitions were also recovered from this warehouse. So the investigations are still underway. And just a couple of hours later, we witnessed a serious explosion at the Red Fort as well. Now, are these two incidents related or not? That is for the police to say. But the initial probes point towards a possible usage of ammonium nitrate in the explosion. So that is why ammonium nitrate becomes important for us. So today, let us see what is ammonium nitrate. So the chemical formula for ammonium nitrate is NH4NO3, and in its pure form, ammonium nitrate is white, odorless, and a crystallized solid. This is white, odorless, and a crystallized solid, as well as chemically and thermally stable. So what does this tell you? This tells us that ammonium nitrate in its pure form, it is chemically and thermally stable, which means it is not an explosive on its own. It is a stable compound. This acts as an explosive when it is mixed with something that is combustible, that we are going to discuss later, because it has an oxidizing nature. This is an oxidizer. It is an oxidizer and not a fuel in itself. So that is why it is not an explosive in itself, but it aids in combustion. It is used as a base in creating other explosives because it is an oxidizer. It supplies oxygen that intensifies the combustion. So in itself, it is not an explosive, but this starts acting as an explosive under certain conditions. But before that, let us begin with understanding the applications of ammonium nitrate. So, it can be used in constructive purposes, and then there are some destructive elements as well. So, under constructive purposes, I told you this is a white, odorless, and a crystallized solid, and this is highly soluble in water, and it is NH4NO3. This is rich in nitrogen. It is rich in nitrogen. It is largely soluble in water. Where is it going to find its most usage? In agriculture, because here this is being used as a fertilizer. It is rich in nitrogen. So this is used as a fertilizer. It is used in irrigation. It finds its major usage in the agriculture industry. Then I told you it is highly soluble in water, and this reaction is endothermic in nature. What is endothermic? Endothermic reaction basically absorbs a lot of heat, and this in turn creates a cooling effect. So this is going to be used in our cooling packs on injuries. So it is used in agriculture, it is used in cooling packs, and then it has a heavy usage in industries. How? So this is chemically and thermally stable. It is not an explosive on its own. In fact, this is a controlled substance. But it can be used under regulated areas, under regulated circumstances. This can be used as an explosive. So in the mining activities, in quarrying activities, this can be used as an explosive, and this is a legitimate use. This is a regulated use because here we are regulating the environment. We're adding that kind of a fuel oil or some combustible element over there, and then the oxidizing nature of ammonium nitrate is going to turn it into an explosive. But this is a legitimate use because here we are doing it under regulated circumstances. So A, it is used in agriculture, B, it is used as a cooling pack, and C, it is also used in industries, especially the mining industry and the quarrying industry. So that it does not act as an explosive, we need to store it in dry and cool places. And when we don't do that, or when we deliberately wish to use it as an explosive, that becomes a destructive application, where this is used as a cheap bomb. Why a cheap bomb? Because I just told you this is being widely used as a fertilizer. This means this is widely available. It is cheaply available. So these nuisance creating elements, they can simply get their hands on the fertilizer, mix it with a fuel oil and create a cheap bomb out of it. So this is what happens when ammonium nitrate is targeted to be used as an explosive. It creates a cheap bomb. And how does it create a cheap bomb? It is not an explosive on its own. It is a controlled substance, but it starts acting as an explosive when it is mixed with a fuel oil. Fuel oil, like any gas oil or kerosene or diesel, when it is mixed with a fuel oil, because it is oxidizing in nature, it acts as an oxidizer. It provides oxygen and it intensifies the combustion. So this acts as a base for our explosives. This creates what? It creates ANFO, ammonium nitrate fuel oil, which has some 95% of ammonium nitrate and 5% of this fuel oil. And this is a dangerous explosive. In fact, ANFO is being reported to be used in yesterday's explosion also. Final reports are going to confirm that, but for now there are reports that this might have been used in the explosion. So ammonium nitrate on its own is not an explosive, but when it is mixed with a fuel oil, it turns into ANFO, and this is highly explosive in nature. This is something that is used as a cheap bomb because ammonium nitrate is widely available and it is very easily available. So there have been some historic explosions in the past also, like in Germany, where a mixed fertilizer silo exploded during an attempt to break apart clumped fertilizer. Hundreds died. Then we saw something in the Texas city of 1947 also, where a ship carrying thousands of tons of ammonium nitrate caught fire and detonated at the port. Again, a lot of people died. And a more recent example is of Beirut, Lebanon, 2020, where around 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate stored unsafely in a port warehouse detonated after a fire, killing and injuring thousands. So this is a serious explosive. ANFO becomes a serious explosive, and we need to store ammonium nitrate in dry and cool conditions and not use it as an explosive or not mix it with a fuel oil, because then it becomes very dangerous. So there must be some rules that govern ammonium nitrate. So now let's talk about the rules governing ammonium nitrate. I told you ammonium nitrate is what? It is a controlled substance. And this has been designated as a controlled substance under the Explosives Act of 1884. This is a colonial era act, and it designated ammonium nitrate as a controlled substance. And under this only, we created some rules specifically for ammonium nitrate. Rules governing ammonium nitrate, or ammonium nitrate rules of 2012. Ammonium nitrate rules. Now these rules tell us when does an element containing ammonium nitrate become an explosive. So the rules say that any mixture when it contains at least 45% of ammonium nitrate by weight, this becomes an explosive. So any mixture that contains 45% of ammonium nitrate by weight becomes an explosive, and hence that needs to be regulated. Regulated meaning that there should be proper certifications, proper licensing, the transport, the storage, the export, import, everything related to that mixture is going to be governed under the ammonium nitrate rules of 2012. So any mixture which contains 45% of ammonium nitrate by weight will be classified as an explosive. And in order to store this or transport this, you will require certification. From PESO, Petroleum and Explosive Safety Organization of India. You will require proper certification, proper licensing for the transport, for the storage of ammonium nitrate, because any mixture that contains ammonium nitrate 45% by weight is categorized as an explosive. Ammonium nitrate in itself is not an explosive, it is a controlled substance, but it can turn into an explosive because it is a base ingredient for explosives. It can turn into an explosive when it is mixed with what? With a fuel oil, because it is an oxidizer. So that was all for today's video. I hope you understood whatever we discussed here related to ammonium nitrate. Now let us practice a question for prelims. Consider the following statements regarding ammonium nitrate. 1. Ammonium nitrate is primarily used as a fertilizer but can act as an explosive when mixed with fuel oil. 2. The Ammonium Nitrate Rules 2012 were framed under the Explosives Act 1884 to regulate its storage and transport. 3. Pure ammonium nitrate is classified as a Class 1 explosive under Indian law. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 2 only, 1, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 2 only, or 1 only. Please provide your answers in the comment section and we will meet in a new video. Thank you for watching.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.